What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Stealing a Father's Bond. I see this happen far too much, and I rarely talk about it because that's what the book's for. So some of you cats, why you don't talk about this more often? Get the book. Shut up. Like, but the crazy part about it is I have to talk about because a lot of when you're a father, society wants to, in some ways, and they've become more lenient on it now because of all of the single mother rhetoric, and them seeing how it doesn't work. But there's a part that they never addressed that still hasn't been addressed. It's the culture is okay with stealing the father's bond with their child. Like, when you think about a mother, they get the baby, they got to get the time a mom and baby bond, right? They bond, they breastfeed, they kick it, they bond. But nobody, when it comes to fathers, everybody wants to get in the way. You got, the coalition of other mothers and women who get in the way. The baby need to be with the baby. The baby need to be with the mama. Baby, 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 mama, mama, mama. And they're cool with the kid not being with their father. So it's not just the mothers. It's the culture of women into a degree trying to push a guy out early. And so dad doesn't get to bond with his child like that on a regular basis. What I'm saying is the culture is more so to not let him bond or to get in the way of his bond and not think anything of it. And then the kids get older and, you want them to, don't do that. Don't tell my baby this. Don't get on my baby. Don't discipline my baby. Let my baby go. And then you become good cop, bad cop, right? Because once you get in the way of the bonding part, now mom's good cop, dad's a bad cop. So now what happens is you're not getting a chance to bond because now you bad cop. Now you gotta rectify everything. The kid don't understand why you the disciplinarian because you're not the loving parent because you didn't bond and they didn't get the quote unquote bond and love from you first to take your correction, right? And nobody has a problem with that either, Everybody thinks that's cool. And then the child gets a little older and there's, there used to be a time where the kids look at the kid fears you. And as a dad, you want your child to fear you. You want the child to be like, look, I look at you like this. It's about to go down, right? You know that look at. AKA, I'm going to fuck you up when we get home. That's what that look means. The kid go, oh shit, stop. Daddy about to go crazy. It's about to go nuclear. But you still don't have bonding time. So now dad has to create moments to make bonding time. And sometimes you gotta buy your bonding time moments. Now you gotta go to the game and go to this event and go to this vacation and take your kid to this concert and what I'm saying? Like, instead of having and you get less of those free moments where you could just come and be a proud parent, right? And you could watch your kid and you could salute your kid and watch your kid be nervous, and it because people interfere with the bonding, it changes those moments. Because the old jokes where, you raise the kid, you teach them everything they know, they get on TV and the first thing they do is, hi, Mom. That's because there was dad didn't get that bonding time. They don't think of dad as a person to love and a loving individual, And for guys, it's more difficult because you start realizing your dad's sacrifices when you're grown. or your dad's lack of sacrifices when you're grown and you have kids. Then the switch cuts on like, oh, this is why. Oh, and because of that stolen bond, you see a lot of people trying to reconnect with their fathers as adults, because now you can see, all of the sacrifices you saw mom do was really under the umbrella of you bonded with your mom. But when you become an adult and you realize the sacrifices you have to make sure that your child grows up in a healthy, stable environment, they see, wow. They begin as an adult to bond with the respect that they have for the things that they couldn't see you do, that they now have to do. And they're like, this is what you was going through. You got your time with me stolen because you had to do all these things. You had to go through all of these hoops and these barriers, and you had all these people in the way, and you had all these mountains to climb, and all of these other people thinking it was okay, right? Everybody else having their moment, The grandparents need to have their moment. I didn't have time with the child, so you still don't bond with your child because especially if you in a single parent situation or broken family, because now you're sharing your bonding time with your other family who was alienated from your child in the first place. So you still don't get your time, right? And everybody's cool with that. Even your family is cool with you not necessarily bonding with your kid because they want to come around and have the moments because they have less time than you do, but they don't care that you still haven't had your time to actually create that synergy with your child yet. And nobody cares about this stuff. And the reason I say that is because when I talk about the situation with people like David Otunga and even Tyrese and I talked about Deion Sanders, I've talked about numerous celebrities who's done this publicly, and even other black men who've been falsely accused of stuff, like even brought up Brad Pitt recently. People are normal to say, oh, this guy's an abuser. So using masculinity against a father to make sure he doesn't get to be around his kids, it kind of, that's just protocol for people. Like, it's just straight up protocol. Like nobody ever says, yo, it's wrong. It's not, forget the child support system wrong. Forget the family court system is wrong. Nobody even addresses the fact that it's wrong to make a child dislike their father, because if you was to like them, it will humanize them to you, and you will actually have love for them and actually want to be around them. That whole aspect of parenting, people just completely skip over. Some of y'all, and thus, like, I see this all the time when people become adults and they realize that, there's a difference between having a deadbeat dad and a dad that everybody alienated from the child to make sure you destroyed the bond. Because when those people become adults and they see it, they know that their mother and their mother's side of the family were some real jerks. But because they had that bond, it's still that I love my mama and my other and my mama's side of the family. But now I know I can't trust them, but I still love them. But then there's this other side, and it's like, I can't necessarily be mad at my dad no more, but I don't know how to talk to him because I don't know how to connect to him because I don't know him, because you didn't bond. So you really can't blame him either. You get what I'm saying? So it leaves kids to become adults and be in this limbo. And nobody has a problem with that. And I think fundamentally that's the worst that I see out of that situation is nobody, which leads to all of these relationship problems, these marriage problems, because normally what happens is people go into society taking men for granted. And or disliking women because they can't be trusted in these situations. So now you don't trust women and you take men for granted, which is a recipe for disaster, saying the least. But ultimately, nobody has a problem. Nobody. Like nobody, I guess nobody expresses that. I don't know. But if you sit down in the room, people say, look, do you love your kid? Yeah. Do you know your kid? Yeah. Does your kid know you? No. Does your kid love you? Toss up. You know, expect. And I'm talking about the like the non-custodial father. This is a toss up, because the bond was either broken or it wasn't created. You always have to take the high road, because you actually have to teach your child the things that they need in life at the expense of bonding with them. You can't become their friend because they're already on guard for you, because they are protective of the other side, of their mother and that side of the family. So you already enemy of the state, number one. So even if you tried to befriend and create a bond, the child's going to always look at you with suspicion, because loving you would mean that it's treasonous in a lot of instances to the other side of the family, or treasonous to mom. And you know, that puts the kid in a particular situation. And as a father, you really don't want your kid to just have to choose. So it's like, it is what it is. You know, they'll come around one day when they get older. But it comes at a great cost. And for people to act like that's cool, I have very, very deep issues with that. So that's just my thoughts on this one. It's a little shorter, so we out. Peace.